What's up guys, DuArktik here with another Marvel Strike Force video, and in this video we are going to talk about the tier list for the patch 6.7. We are going to take a look at which characters you should invest on and the characters that you stop any kind of investment in order for you to progress for this upcoming meta MSF 3.0. This patch was the patch where Apocalypse was released together with the Masters of Evil, so we have a few changes that we are going to talk about, and it was also the patch where the level cap was increased from level 90 to level 95. So I'm going to tell you which are the only characters that you should take early on for level 95, and then we are going to talk about the raid meta and also the Cosmic Crucible meta, which characters are still holding on and which characters the value is dropping quite fast and you should stop any kind of investment. If you are a new player and if you are a mid-range player, this video is going to be extremely important for you, so you don't waste your resources on characters that are no longer necessary. Marvel Strike Force is like surfing. If you are not ready to catch a wave, just let it go, because if you try to chase it, you are just wasting your time and wasting your resources. And instead you should just jump the meta and get ready for the next wave coming, and then you're gonna have a great time by doing so. So as always, if you like the information on these videos, make sure you share it with your friend on Facebook and Discord. If you're new to my channel, make sure to subscribe for more Marvel Strike Force content, and make sure you smash that like button. Okay, let's get started. Let's talk about this tier list. We're going to start off with the characters that you should invest for level 95. And the characters you should invest on level 95 are only 3 characters: Apocalypse, Dormammu, and Doctor Doom. Those are the only characters that you should get up to level 95. And the reason why is because they don't have their own team, and to obtain red stars for them, you need to have dark promotion credits. Dark promotion credits are very hard to obtain, so you want to compensate the lack of red stars or the lack of gear or the lack of a team with additional levels. That's why you want to gear up these characters before anyone else. And yes, the Horseman characters, they also require dark promotion credits, but as I just mentioned, they have their own team that can buff their stats. So that's why they don't need those levels as early as these top 3 characters. So once again, Apocalypse, Dormammu, and Doctor Doom should be your first characters to take to level 95. Then we have the characters that you need for unlocking Apocalypse, which is the Horseman characters, their respective teams, the 3 original characters from Marvel Strike Force. All of them need to go to level 90, gear tier 17, and Isolate Blue level 4, at some point level 5, in order to unlock the big boy Apocalypse. And the same that goes for the 3 at the top. You could take the Horseman characters to level 95 after you get these 3, because they require dark promotion credits and you cannot upgrade them as easily as the other characters, because yeah, dark promotion credits are just super rare at this point in time, and getting the levels faster is gonna be your only option of upgrading their stats. Beyond that, gear tier 17, level 90, if you get to that point, you just stop. And the other characters that are not Horsemen, just keep them at that level, which is good enough. If you are a new player, if you are a mid-range player, you can hold back on a few of these teams, so you can get up the Dead Seed all the way, no problem, because they are a raid team. But in terms of the Unlimited and in terms of the Gamma, they are not going to be a priority team for you, because they are used for Cosmic Crucible and Alliance Wars. And early on, like on the early levels of the game, you don't have access to those game modes, so you can hold back a little bit. But if at some point then you obtain Apocalypse, if you obtain Red Hulk, if you obtain Rogue, if you obtain Gambit, then you can start gearing up those characters. The same goes for Agatha. It's like the second hand in command on the Horseman teams. So for Morgan Le Fay, then you have Agatha. Red Hulk, you can gear up Hulk or whichever character. Then for Rogue, you have Gambit, and that's pretty much it. The 3 original characters from Marvel Strike Force, Spider-Weaver, Castle, and Deathpool, you can pretty much at any point in time gear them up. because they have a huge plug and play value, so you can just add them to any other team and they're going to be very beneficial to you. Okay, so that's the level 90 gear tier 17 characters. Then we have the gear tier 16 characters. And of course, you can take them to this level or higher, but you should stop at this point in time until we have more information about the upcoming meta. Marvel Strike Force just started the meta 3.0, so there will be huge changes going forward because of the new raids and new content that will show up in 2023. Now, in terms of Gear T16 characters and also Dark Dimension 5 characters, the only characters that are like must-have is the two Eternals, Icarus and Cersei. Dark Dimension 5 was designed specifically to use these characters, especially on the cosmic nodes, so you definitely want to make sure that you invest on these characters before anyone else. And they also have plug and play value with any of the Horseman characters or any of the super legendary characters, so you should just invest them. As a new player, you're gonna get huge value out of investing them early on. Okay, so those are the only Gear T16 characters must have. You don't want to take them to Gear T17 before you finish your Horseman characters, so keep that in mind. Okay, now we're gonna talk about Tier 15 raid must have characters. And these are characters that you want to take between level 85 to level 80, and just keep them at Gear Tier 15 because it's not important to take them any higher than that. So we have the Rebirth team that showed up to replace the Web Warriors, we have the Bionic Avengers, and we also have the Secret Avengers. So this is going to be your characters required for the bio raids, the tech raids, and the skill raids. You also have Shang-Chi here. He's not a raid character, but he works very, very well with the Secret Avengers. Now, if you are still not doing the Doom raids, if you are just doing the Ultimus raids, where you can use any characters, it's not a huge priority to focus on these characters. If you have that seed available, use that seed. If not, use any of these individual teams. Just focus on one team and save your resources, so whenever you start the Doom raids, then you can spread your resources for bio teams, tech teams, skill teams, and mutant teams. Okay, so those are the characters that you need to invest for raids. Once again, level Gear T15, level 85, that's going to be more than enough to do any raids that we have available right now. And if something changes in terms of the meta, we'll see next patch when that will be the case. Okay, so now we have the Cosmic Crucible characters. Cosmic Crucible is one of the most important game modes because you can get currency that allows you to farm premium characters like Gambit, like Hulkbuster, like Abomination, which are very good characters. And on top of that, you also can obtain ISO 8 Blue level 4 from there, which is also required for Apocalypse, and it's also required to make your characters as powerful as possible, so you want to get as much ISO 8 Blue 4 as possible. So for Cosmic Crucible, characters that are going to give you huge value is going to be the Tangled Web. We have Spider-Man 2099 here, we also have Spider-Man Noir, then we have the Infinity Watch, Wakanda, and we also have the Masters of Evil. So these are three teams that you should really invest. You don't have to invest like all the way to level 95, but you want to get them to level 80 Gear T15 at a bare minimum. And one of the reasons why these characters are so good, especially the Infinity Watch and the Wakanda, is because they hold their stats outside of their specific game modes or across the board in all game modes, like Infinity Watch and Wakanda. They get additional HP and additional armor in all game modes. In case of the Masters of Evil, that's not the case, but it's not relevant enough because even with lower investment, they still perform very well in Cosmic Crucible. Okay, so that's it. Level 85, level 80, Gear T15, that's going to be more than enough for these teams right here. Now we have teams that they used to be good, but they are falling off of the meta. And one of the reasons why they fall off the meta so fast is because they don't hold their stats. Unlike the Infinity Watch and the Wakanda, we have Weapon X here that only gets additional HP in Alliance Wars, and the same goes for the Young Avengers. They only get additional HP, additional armor, and additional abilities in Alliance Wars. Outside of Alliance Wars, they lose all those stats, and that makes a huge difference. But they are still great teams. So it's not going to be like a huge investment that you want to get early on, because you are better off just making some hybrid teams of these characters. So Young Avengers, they still hold up because they have Squirrel Girl, which is a very powerful healer. But in terms of the Weapon X, it's better off. You are better off if you mix some of these characters with other characters like Hela and Zombie Iron Man, or Tangled Web, or Eternals. And that's going to give you them some additional value. But once again, these teams are not such a great investment at this point in time, because their meta is over. They were part of the meta of the level 80. Now we are at level 95, and that's a huge difference. Their stats don't scale as well. But characters like Omega Red, because he does health steal, or characters that do piercing damage, they are still going to be somewhat relevant. Undying, they are a very powerful team, and even at low level, they do amazing things. So once again, if you make any kind of hybrid team, Undying, Weapon X, or just using the Young Avengers, you are going to be fine at a lower level. They really punch up big, and they really do amazing things without being maxed out in terms of gear. Okay, now we have powerful characters that you can have at gear tier 12 or above. Of course, that the bigger you have, the better. Some of these characters do not require any kind of gear, but others require a lot of gear, but the value that they provide is just huge. So for example, we have characters that require big investment, is like Black Bolt, Cloak and Dagger. Then we have that's pretty much it. You can also consider Spider-Woman and Silver Surfer as one of the characters that require huge investment. Then we also have Star-Lord T'Challa. So those are the characters that, even without having their own teams, they are going to provide huge value to your team for more advanced tactics in the game, like in Cosmic Crucible or Avengers Tower or Alliance Wars. Other characters that still provide huge value and they do not require any kind of investment is going to be Loki, Drax, Red Guardian, Nick Fury, Hawkeye. Then you also have Nobu, you also have Red Skull, and Cable, for example. Those characters, even at low gear tier, because of the way their abilities work, they are going to do amazing things for you, turn rewinds, or give speed up to your team. And that's it. They do not require any gear beyond like gear tier 12, where you're going to be able to unlock all of their abilities, including the passives. Magic is the same thing. Magic, if you pair it up with any X-Men team, she's going to provide Drain to that team, and she's also going to provide Barrier. If she dies after that, that's fine, because you still keep those buffs like Drain, and that's going to be very important. Okay, now we have legendary unlocks. And we have the Kree minions. They are going to allow you to unlock Nick Fury and Omega Red. Then we have X Factor with Jubilee. That allows you to unlock Adam Warlock, which is one of the characters we have up here. Then we have the X Force, which will allow you to unlock Dr. Octopus. And then Dr. Octopus and the Sinister Six will allow you to unlock Invisible Woman and also Shuri, which is part of the Wakanda team. Then we have the Ravagers, and we have Star-Lord T'Challa that will allow you to unlock the original Star-Lord, the Peter Quill, which is a great character because even without gear he provides a lot of ability energy, and that will allow you to do amazing things in the game. Then we have Pimtech. Pimtech are required to unlock Jubilee, which is required to unlock Adam Warlock. Then we have Hero Asgardians that are required to unlock Black Bolt, and then Black Bolt together with the Inhumans are required to unlock Ebony Maw. And to be honest, Ebony Maw is probably the only character that you can skip out of these legendary characters we just mentioned. So those are the characters that are required to unlock legendaries. Now we have the characters that are required to complete events, and right now we only have 3 important events. we have the mercenaries for the payday, we have the skill military for the back to boot camp, which allows you to get training materials, and then we have the nowhere heist event, where you are going to be able to obtain dark promotion credits and also elite 7 credits. So these characters still have some value. There was other event which was the relic hunt, that would allow you to get purple gear and orange gear, but if you are a new player, or even if you are a veteran player but you skip that team, that event, the rewards are so bad that it's not necessary for you to waste any kind of resources gearing up and completing that event. The rewards are just so bad that it's pretty much meaningless at this point in time. Okay, now we have the niche characters and dev meta. These were characters that were very powerful in the past or very useful, and right now they have very niche uses, if any at all. So AIM characters, they were required to unlock Archangel. Archangel still only had one pass, but with more passes that these horseman characters have, the less value these teams have. So as a new player, as a mid-range player, this is definitely something you should skip. Then we have Web Warriors and we have the Dark Hunters. These are characters that were required for Morgan Le Fay, but right now the rewards you get are so low that it does not justify to gearing up these characters. So if you gear them up in the past, great. If not, skip. Black Order, it was a great team in the past. Right now it's completely useless. The same goes for Astonishing X-Men. The same goes for Shadowland. Shadowland is a team that is still great, but they require such a huge investment that is very, very hard to justify. Symbiotes, they are pretty much dead. These two Wave Force characters, they are not good enough to gear up. Then we have the Marauders and the Uncanny, which unfortunately they are wombo combo teams that they are too slow, or the starts are not good enough, so you should definitely skip them. And then we have the Hero Asgardians. You can use these Hero Asgardians together with other ones, but these ones do not require any kind of gear investment, and it's even helpful that they are as small as possible, because when they die, they are going to give buffs to the other ones, and that's how the team works, unfortunately. The team works in a strange way. So that's it for the niche and dev meta. Now we have characters that require zero investment. We have Hydra, we have AIM, we have Fantastic Four, we have Heroes for Hire, we have Power Armor, we have Ravagers, we have Shield characters, we have Ant characters, we have Kree characters, we have Sinister Six, Brotherhood, we have Mercenaries, and we also have a few individual characters like Mantis, Karnak, Bullseye, and Crossbones. Also Doctor Strange. Unfortunately, these characters, they were a part of the meta like 3 years ago, and since then they are no longer useful. If at some point in time they'll have a rework, of course we are going to adjust these meta, these tier list, but right now at this point in time in 2023 February, these characters, like zero investment in them, and that's pretty much it. They really don't bring anything useful to your account in any kind of game mode. The value is just so low that the investment is just going to be a waste. So really avoid all kinds of investments on these characters, and even on these niche and dev meta you should also avoid any kind of investment, because it's just not going to hold up. Unfortunately, all of these characters, which are, I think it's over 53 characters, they are pretty much done. Okay guys, so yeah, that's the tier list for Marvel Strike Force. So just make sure you focus on everything until the pink, but of course whatever is on the top should be your priority, because that's what's going to give you more value in Marvel Strike Force in February of 2023 on the patch 6.7. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you smash that like button. Let me know in the comments below if you agree with my tier list, if there is anything that you disagree with, and if you found this helpful, make sure you share it with your friends on Facebook and Discord. If you are new to my channel, make sure to subscribe for more Marvel Strike Force content, and I will catch you guys later.